Hello, everyone. Very welcome, very warm welcome to all of you to my YouTube channel. I have just recently started my interview podcast series with some people from whom you can gain some knowledge, you can gain some inspiration. My first very special guest in this podcast series is Rehan Sattar. He's a very nice guy. I have been following him since 2018. He has been working since his bachelor studies. We are going to ask him a lot of stuff. I will not waste a lot of time. I will ask Rehan first of all that what exactly he's doing right nowadays, and a little bit of introduction from him. So Rehan, what exactly you are doing, and what exactly you're working on nowadays?
Okay, thank you so much, Daniel, for actually inviting me in your YouTube channel. And first of all, my name is Rehan Sattar, and I'm working as a software engineer in Nissan Karachi. It's a global company where I'm working right now. And as per the educational background, I have done my bachelor's in computer science from NED University of Engineering Technology. And recently, I've been graduated, and luckily, I was the first. I was in. I was a part of the first batch who was actually affected by COVID-19.
Mhm.
So we had our last semester, you can say, online, which was a terrible experience, by the way. And I love writing articles, and I also had a YouTube channel as well, but I am not active on that right now. And I have been doing open source, and I have been writing a lot of blogs and community building, a lot of stuff I'm doing right now.
Okay, very nice, Rehan. We'll also talk about some open source stuff, but first, I would
Hmm.
really like to ask, being a curious person, since I've also done my bachelor's in computer, not specifically in your field mainly, but in another field. So I'm very curious to know about how exactly did you manage to work during your bachelor studies? So you have been working since you were in your second year, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I was in my. It was the start of my third year, fifth semester.
Okay, fine. Fifth semester. Still, it's too early, and
Yeah.
it's really, I mean, you may get lucky sometimes, and you have to work a little
Hmm.
more hard. But in the end, the good thing is that in the end, the result that you get after your bachelor studies is very nice. You get a very good job.
Yeah.
You have a plenty of experience even before the end of your studies. So, how did you manage all your internships, your work, your freelance? I've also seen that you have also worked freelance. So
Yeah.
how did you manage all of those stuff with your all bachelor studies?
Yeah, let me start from the beginning. In the beginning of 2018, me and my best friend, we both did an internship in Cloud.
Hmm.
It was
Hmm.
our first ever experience in
Hmm.
working and learning actually in a boot camp.
Hmm.
So it was an on-site boot camp. So what we were doing is that we were attending university, and after university, we both were going to Cloud, and we were learning the latest stuff like React, Node.js, JavaScript, all that frameworks and stuff, which were like uh, at that time these kind of frameworks were in boom in the market. So after that boot camp, we decided to go for freelance. As per students, you know that if you are a student, you cannot actually do a full-time job. It's really, really hard for you to actually manage a full-time job with all of your study university. So being a student, we also decided to go for the freelance work. So we started some freelance projects on Upwork, and Alhamdulillah, we got some really good response from clients as well. So then after, I guess, 3 months, we started our first Upwork agency named as Software Systems, and we did 4 projects on it, and it was really, really good. And I was also involved in community stuff like giving tech talks and writing blogs. So in December 2018, I delivered my first talk on React component patterns at Usman Institute. So after that, I received a call from Mr. Muhammad Kamran Qadri Saab, my mentor, and he actually introduced me that there is a company in Karachi which is offering very, really flexible timings in terms of like if you are a student or if you are working professionals, so they are open to timing. So I tried it out, and the company name is Mikal Labs Pakistan. So the interview process was really, really good, and they actually selected me. So when I started, So the thing was like that. I was actually going to university first in the morning, and after completing my studies in the university, I was going to the software house at Karachi. So and I was like coming back to home around, you can say, 11 p.m. at night or maybe 12 a.m. at night. So it was not an easy thing to do. It was one of the most hardest times at my life, but you can say that hard work always pays off. So it was not an easy task. I have managed through it, and the best part of my life was that I was struggling a lot, but my friends really helped me in this matter. I thought to quit on a really, really some points. I thought that I cannot do it. I cannot handle it more. But my friends were there with me, and they always motivated me, especially my best friend, and she was always there. So with her help, with my constant support system, I was able to manage.
Okay, very nice. Being said that, I would like to ask you one. It's a bit private question, but if you want to
Hmm.
answer, how was your attendance in your third year or final year when you were going home at 12? Were you able to attend the morning classes?
Yeah, sometimes I used to bunk some classes for resting, but majority of time, yes. You know that in NAD we have to attend 75% of the classes,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was able to manage that. The least attendance, I guess, was my 82, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so I have decided to keep this interview in a way that we don't go too much in the technical or academic side. In between, I will try to put some fun questions as well. So this is my fun question now, since I think the whole discussion is going towards a bit more, some boring stuff, maybe not very interesting for many
Yeah.
people. So I would like to ask you one question: Are you a coffee person or a tea person during the coding? What do you prefer,
uh,
coffee or tea?
Actually, none. I'm open to both
Okay,
coffee and
so
tea,
no
but
caffeine addiction.
yeah, no, no.
Okay, so just telling you, for me, for example, when I was in Pakistan, I was a tea person, and when I'm abroad, normally you don't have the tea that we usually have, in Pakistan with milk.
Oh.
So coffee is very common here. So let's move forward now. It's quite good to know that you were able to manage everything while being a student as well, and it's also good to know that all your hard work actually paid off. So it's very nice and
Yeah.
very inspiring for the people who are studying at the moment. And sometimes these things, people think that these are not doable. So maybe this example can help them, to motivate and do something similar as well, or maybe better. You never know. I would like
Yeah.
to move forward to another question. I would like to know, so since you are, if I'm not wrong, you are a full stack developer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me briefly, like in one two lines, what exactly is a full stack developer?
Yeah, as per my knowledge, what I consider, in my opinion, full stack person is basically who knows the front end part of the application and who knows the basics
Hmm.
of back end as well. And all over, he has some knowledge about the deployment tools and build system tools as well. So in general, if you call yourself a full stack developer, then it means that you have the knowledge of front end as well. You have the knowledge of back end. In short, you can deliver a complete application with a deployment as well.
Okay. Moving forward now, I would like to ask you more about the open source projects and the contributions. So
Mhm.
since I've seen that you have emphasized a lot in your normally you emphasize a lot on the open source projects on your LinkedIn. What exactly is an open source? How can one contribute to that?
Yeah, I have prepared some notes for it. Let me just
Yeah,
open my
sure,
notes for
sure.
them. Yeah. Okay. The first thing for any junior or any person who wants to become an open source contributor is to actually do not worry about what you are going to do in open source. Just try to learn how to contribute.
Hmm.
In my beginning, when I decided that I will start my open source journey, Rizwan was my lead at that time in Mikalsap. So I asked him that what should I do. So he told me that you have to learn how to actually contribute, how to create a pull request, how to actually use Git in that, all that kind of stuff. So the first thing for any person who is interested in learning how to contribute in open source is that first you have to learn the basics of Git, obviously any version control system, and how to actually contribute in open source. There are thousands of resources on the internet. You can easily learn it from there. Okay. And yeah, second point is that majority of the students and professionals even as well, they quite hesitate that they do not actually understand the code that is written on the software or anything related to code. So let me clear this concept as well, that open source is not only related to code actually.
Yeah.
You can like fix any documentation bug. Like what I was doing in my initial stage when I started contributing, I was like reading documentations. If I found any kind of bug in that documentation or any, let's say, any kind of error, I was just creating a simple PR for that. So I was practicing how to contribute in open source at initial level, right?
Mhm.
So fixing documentation issues or maybe creating any kind of small tips and tricks, open source pull requests are really, really helpful. And the last point, what I would recommend is to like make use of GitHub as much as possible, because 99.9% of the open source projects are on GitHub, you can say, and you can easily find any open source small project, and you can start directly contributing for me. And do participate in Oktoberfest, which is coming in October. And when I participated, you can say Oktoberfest 2019,
Okay.
and yeah, so you get the chance to work with other engineers, you get the chance to work with communicate your skills to other engineers. It's a whole bunch of things you can do in open source journey.
Okay, that's very nice. Thank you for the big, good explanation. Maybe it will be helpful for many people who are, for example, me when I was a student, I was always curious about what exactly are the open source, how to basically contribute to
Yeah.
those areas. Now, for example, when you will be, when you will be 6 to 7 years experienced guy, it will be a bit hard for you to explain this all these things to students. So maybe for you it will be
Mm-hmm.
comparatively easier because you are still not that far away from them and you know the mentality what
Yeah.
exactly a student might feel at that time. So okay, let's move forward. Now we will go towards another fun question just to make you relax a bit more. Since you have worked at a lot of places now, I think three or
Mm-hmm.
four places, and you just
Yeah.
graduated last year. It's so I would like to ask you one thing. Can you please tell me what was your I don't want to know the name of the company or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to know about your experience about your interview. So your one best experience while giving your interview and one worst experience while giving your interview.
Okay. What do you want to hear? The worst one or the best one first?
I want to know both. Maybe something interesting,
Yeah. Okay. Let me describe. Let's go with the worst one actually. So in okay, the worst interview of my career was with a company which was in USA. So they approached me through GitHub by my open source contributions. One major
Mm-hmm.
advantage of
Mm-hmm.
being an open source engineer is that many companies actually uh, give you the opportunity to work with them as well. So they just went through my GitHub profile and they contacted me. And the worst thing that happened to me was that I was actually pressurized a lot. And the person asked me to write an algorithm of checking if a string has all the unique characters or not. Like I have done that in my bachelor's like 100 times, but at that time I wasn't able to do that just because of the pressure and all the question related in the interviews. So that was my worst ever experience. And there are a lot of good experiences as well, but the best one I guess was one of the Mikhail's one, and the recently Nisam interview was really good. Mikhail had I guess
Okay.
3 rounds of interviews at that time. Now there are like five rounds for them, and Nisam also had 4 rounds of interview, 4 rounds in interview. So that was a really good experience.
Okay. So, being said that, as I understood, you also work freelance for some time. I'm not sure if you're working currently or not, but anyway, that's your personal choice. Maybe if you want to keep it private, that's absolutely okay. But I the thing that I'm more interested in is that why did you continue your journey as a full-time freelancer? Why did you choose a job? Maybe was it because of some experience that you wanted to gain, or what exactly was the reason? Or you want to go towards a safe pay or something, or I don't know.
Mhm.
What exactly was the reason?
No, actually, I was learning a lot of money from freelance at that time, and there was no issue in income streams, you can say. But one of my goals, is to work with world class engineers, to learn from them, to work in an environment where you can learn and grow. You can actually learn from the experienced people, right? So that's why I prefer to work with the team now, as a contributor in the team. I do work as a freelance sometimes, some small projects as well, but the majority part of my career is revolving around teamwork, physically.
Okay, very nice. Is there any regret or any mistake do you want the other students to not to commit? For example, is there any regret or is there any mistake that you might have committed while being a student and you want others to not do that at all so that their life can be improved? What would be that regret or one mistake that you would like to share?
Okay, one regret I always feel is that when I started to learn actually web development at first, so I was learning it from Mehman Federation. It's an institute in Karachi. So
Hmm.
I was doing my university and the institute at the same time. At that time, I
Hmm.
was unaware of the online educational platforms like Udemy, Coursera, Udacity, even YouTube. So I was just watching some random stuff on YouTube, and after I guess 2.5 years, I explored that okay, there is a thing called Udemy, and there are like complete skills over there which you can learn at your own pace, at your own home, without any kind of context. So the thing I regret most, and my tips for my juniors and all the students who are learning me right now, is that please don't waste your time. Just go out
Hmm.
there onto the internet, and if you want to learn Android engineering, if you wanted to become a full stack developer or a web developer, anything XYZ, even art or UI UX side, there's a bunch of stuff out there. Just pick one course and consistently do it. You will learn a skill, and you can earn a lot of money. You can secure your future. There are a lot of opportunities open for you. So the best thing I regret about is that if I would be aware of that those platforms earlier in my career stage, I would not waste that much of time.
Okay. One question related to those courses, as you just mentioned, I would like to know
Mm-hmm.
what exactly have you gone for the paid online courses or the free
Yeah.
ones, or can someone start from the free courses and then he can move toward the paid courses? What would you recommend anyone?
At the initial stage, I would recommend to start with the YouTube, as there are a lot of crash courses on YouTube. Those crash
Hmm.
courses will actually help you to understand what you have to learn. Like you want to learn Android engineering, right? You can create your basics from Android engineering, and then you can actually jump into the paid courses. And let's say you were interested in Android engineering, but that didn't sound good to you after learning from crash
Yeah.
course, and you decided to go for iPhone side, let's say. So you can also do a crash course on iPhone, and that sounds pretty interesting to you. Okay, no problem. Just go to Udemy or Coursera or any other platform, buy a course, and learn the complete skill.
Okay. Moving forward now, I would like to know what exactly. So it might be something redundant, but maybe it's not clear to me. When you were the student, what motivated you to go for this particular course? What was there anyone who advised you something, or was it
Mhm.
you yourself that decided to just go for a course or anything? I mean, what was what came into yourself that made you do these courses or made you think that okay, now I have to do something? What exactly that was, or was there any person or
Yeah. The first thing is that I always wanted to become a software engineer. I had a dream that one day I will become a world class engineer. I will be talking about software engineering stuff in conferences and all that stuff. So, but I didn't knew anything about that, especially. So the first person, my mentor, you can say, was Sarzia. I
Mhm.
just attended his one of the seminars, from where I got to know that okay, if I wanted to become a web developer, I have to learn these particular technologies. And he offered a pretty good course, and the teachers were really awesome. And I just enrolled into that course where which I mentioned earlier, Meme Federation. So from that course, I actually gained the knowledge. Okay, where what is my direction now from onwards? Like first, I have to learn HTML, then I have to learn CSS and JavaScript and all that stuff related to web development. So okay, then I was actually aware of the stuff which I have to learn. Then after that, I was a self learner.
Okay, that's good to know again. Moving forward again, I would like to know, I mean, what do you follow any book or any person or any do you follow any YouTube channel right now? I mean, for the specific technology that you're working on at the moment, do you read any book? Do you follow any person? For example, for me, as an Android developer, I always follow the Google Android channel, and there are many world-class Android developers. The famous one from the who are working in Google, they always
Yeah.
try to give new information regarding this and all and all. So, being in your particular field or area, is there any book that you follow? Is there any particular person that you follow, or is there any YouTube channel or any other resource that you would recommend
Mhm.
others to follow as well?
Yeah. For learning a particular tool or a language, let's say, I always go for Udemy site. I do not read books to learn any particular framework or technology or language. But for engineering principles like writing clean code, object-oriented programming principles, you can say. So I have read one book which was recommended by Rehan Sattar, and it was Clean Code by Uncle Bob, famous one.
Yeah.
So I have
Yeah.
read that, and I have learned so many things from that book. So I recommend, I always recommend that book to every engineer that do read out Clean Code. And I am inspired from with that book a lot, and I am also writing a book right now on that topic
Mm.
for juniors, so you can say, because that book is like full with heavy loaded words which are like really complex to understand. So I'm making that process a little bit simpler in my book. So I have started to write a book on clean code topic, and for the personal development side, I have read some books like Compound Effect, Make Time, and there's a lot of books as well. So
Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
the you say I forgot about the YouTube side. So particularly right now I'm following Ben Awards, and for the JavaScript side, I have a lot of YouTube channels right now in my list, but yeah, there are a lot of them, but particularly I follow Ben Awards a lot.
Okay, best wishes for the book that you are about to write. I'm looking forward to that book.
Yeah,
I'm also aware that you are writing your own blogs as well. So I'll put
yeah.
the link in the description for others so that they can also go to that site and learn for what exactly you're sharing, the knowledge
Hmm.
that you have. Moving forward now, if you ever get a chance to work abroad, will you avail that opportunity? What's your aim or goal?
Yeah, every software engineer has a dream to work in Silicon Valley. I guess
Yeah, of
including
course.
you as well. So of course, I will obviously, if that opportunity aligned with my goals, if I have the opportunity to work abroad, I will definitely avail that opportunity. Like I am also interested in migrating to Germany and Finland or Estonian side. And yeah, as per the dream side, I always wanted to work in Silicon Valley or the FANG side.
Okay, just to tell the viewers that I'll be also interviewing some people who got the job abroad from Pakistan, and they will be sharing their own experiences in the future, inshallah. So we'll be catching with
Inshallah.
those people as well. And even Rehan, you can also hear, listen to them
Yeah.
and see how they applied and everything. Maybe
Yes.
there
Yes. Yes.
would be something that you didn't know and they knew and they got the job. But yeah,
Yeah.
anyways, but let's now stick to you and talk about you yourself. You yourself have a lot of achievement that not normally a normal person have. And
Alhamdulillah.
being a professional, I really think that you achieve something, that the talent that you have is something which is not so common, and something is very exceptional in you. So very, very best of luck to you, and I wish you to see a very successful person in your future
Thank
after
you
six
so
to seven
thank you
years.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
Allah.
okay, moving to the end, let's conclude with what. So normally, when you are interviewing such people, you always ask for advice ask for the advice from the person to students. We will also do that, but first, I would like to know what advice would you like to give to the teachers in the current computer science or computer engineering department. What exactly would you like to tell them? What could make them better as a teacher or professor? They're very nice, they're very good, but
Yeah.
what can help them to make the students more prepared for the professional side, that the professional future that they might have?
Yeah, I understand that completely. Being a university student, what I have always missed is that the teachers should prepare their students for the market, I guess, not for the exam side. So the things that are going into the market, at least the teachers can spread awareness about them. Let's say Android engineering is at the boom right now. Let's say, and you got the chance to work, you got the chance to learn Java programming in your object-oriented course. So your teacher should inspire you that okay, if you learn Java, you can explore the Android development side. You can learn the Kotlin as well, and you can do a whole bunch of stuff, right? But the teachers keep themselves close to the course outline and close to the exam side of the part, which I don't like particularly. And one of the factor is that the teachers should make the class interactive, more interactive.
Okay, that's very nice. And just moving forward to the last question, there is one thing that I would like to just discuss, but that's very brief. But before moving to that, I was just last final thing. What advice would you give to the students right now, especially the first year student? Not talking about the final year. Maybe they are
Yeah,
aware of more stuff. But for example, the first year student like me, for example, when I was in first year, I was completely blank that what I'm going to
yeah,
do after 4 years or anything that would I was entirely blank. What advice do you have for the first year students?
yeah. Actually, you answered my question. The first point, the first advice I would like to give any first year student or even the intermediate student is that please know your direction, what you want to do in your life. Like Daniel Bhai, when I enrolled in my university, I knew that I want to become a web and mobile engineer, right? So I was putting all of my abilities and focus towards my journey in the right direction. And the first advice is please know your direction. If you were unaware of your passion, ask your seniors or maybe the people who are out there in the market and doing great stuff. Ask questions and just know your direction. The first point is that. The second point is consistent learning. I'm not a person who is a big fan of like learn 3 hours a day or 5 hours a day. I just want you to learn. Let's say watch up two videos on Udemy per day. Small plus consistent steps. It's gonna help you a lot. Without frustrating you, you are going to learn a lot. So first point is that know your direction. Second point, small and consistent steps. These two things are going to really help you a lot. Third point, obviously, hard work. As I said, as we talked earlier, I was managing my job and my university studies both at the same time because, and I really appreciate that if you are like working hard, it's gonna benefit you a lot. So work hard, direction, consistent steps, and work hard. And the last step, which I really encourage you to please engage yourself in the community. If you are, let's say, want to become an Android engineer, follow those people who are already doing really good work in the Android community. Follow those people who are aligned with your opportunities, with the opportunities you want to grab. When I started, I was following Andrew Mee, Daddy Osmani, the people who are working on JavaScript. And I wanted to become a JavaScript developer. In the same way, if you want to become an Android engineer or UI UX person, go out there on the LinkedIn or maybe Twitter, follow the right people, create a community or maybe be a part of a community and engage yourself with other people. It's going to help you in a lot of factors like communication, collaboration, and you are going to learn a lot of stuff. So 4 points only. The first point is know your direction. Second point is small and consistent steps. Third point, hard work. And fourth point, engage yourself with the right people, the people whom you want to learn. learn as much as possible.
Okay, thank you so much, Rehan, for your time and for a lot of guidance and a lot of stuff that you just shared with the. And I hope that the viewer will get a lot of knowledge and information from those from this particular talk. I will put the LinkedIn handle and the other social media handles of Rehan if he allows me to do so, so that you guys can, if you
Yeah.
want to get connect to him, if you guys have any more specific questions specifically to full stack or JavaScript or related. I'm not a very expert to that particular area because I
Yeah.
always believed in just one direction, and that is the reason why
Mhm.
I never got myself engaged. Although a person should have a knowledge for about the other directions as well, but anyway, this was just my way of doing this. Maybe others can have their own. So yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so much for your time and all the knowledge and everything. I'll put the essential details in the description of this video, and we'll come back again with some other guy, other guest. Inshallah, you will also enjoy that, and
Inshallah.
you'll also get some knowledge from that as well. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Rehan, and all the very best, and have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.